Ugh.
Security!
Hurry, come on!
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In this episode, we're gonna reveal all the details and secrets that you might have missed in Coco. Who doesn't love all the great Easter eggs that Disney Pixar puts into its films? Pixar and Easter eggs go together like peanut butter and jelly, and that is why this is one of the most favorite things to do for every movie lover. And if you're one of them, let's get into this incredible adventure together. Stay tuned and you'll be shocked to know that there are so many hidden gems you can miss out on. Coco is one of the most beloved family animated movies of recent years.
You say, put them on your head. Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor.
Together with the 12-year-old boy Miguel, you will immerse yourself in the journey into a mysterious world of the land of the dead. Miguel is passionate about music and his biggest dream is to become a musician, but the problem is that his family has banned music ever since his great-great-grandfather left the family behind to pursue his dreams of music. But Miguel doesn't give up, and just like his great-great-grandfather, he follows his dream, and on his way he discovers the truth behind the reason why music is banned in his family. And now it's time to take a look at all the Coco Easter eggs we have found so far.
We have our differences, but nothing's more important than family. I'm proud we're family!
Frida Kahlo is one of the most iconic characters you'll meet in Coco. It's not the first time we see Frida on the big screen. A whole biopic was even shot about her in which Selma Hayek plays the main role. In Coco, technically, Frida appears 2 times. The first time when Hector pretends to be her to get across the bridge at the Day of Dead customs checkpoint. And we see her the second time. This time, we see an actual Frida because she turns out to be a real part of the story, and he is the one who handles Ernesto de la Cruz's rehearsal before his Sunrise Spectacular concert. Interestingly, in Coco, Frida is shown as the performance artist, however in life, she was a painter. We all know that Apple products are iconic and we can see them in many animated movies and films. For Pixar, Steve Jobs became incredibly important to the company in its early years, and that is why Apple products are intentionally inserted into Pixar movies. In Coco, there are a few different Apple devices. Have you noticed them, by the way? If yes, let us know in the comment section down below. We found classic Macintosh computers, the CPU monitor combo units that many of us surely noticed, being used by the evil servants in the Land of Dead's Department of Family Reunions. It's funny that Miguel's great-grandmother refers to Apple products as the devil box and ends up destroying one by smashing it until it starts to smoke. If there are any fragile Apple lovers, you should skip this scene because this is a kind of heartbreaking thing to watch. Just kidding. It's not a secret that Pixar makes references to the film that is set to come after it. Thus, there are so many references to Toy Story 4 at the beginning of producing Coco. The plan was to see Toy Story 4 get released in 2018, so we can see Woody and Buzz Lightyear in piñatas when Miguel visits the plaza to shine shoes. But Cowboy Woody and Astronaut Buzz from Toy Story are not alone over there. We can also see the piñatas that look like Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. Near the back of the piñata pack is a turquoise one, likely designed to look like Mike's partner Sully. Another Toy Story reference is a Pizza Planet truck that first appeared in the original Toy Story years ago. Since then, this truck has been a regular occurrence in every Pixar movie, so Coco movie is no exception. But you might not remember that truck in Coco because it was shown really briefly. It appears in the very beginning of the film when Miguel opens a window to look outside and the truck drives right by in front of him. It's safe to say that the truck was moving at a high speed, so it was really difficult to identify and claim it was the Pizza Planet truck from the first glance. However, Pixar veterans who are used to looking for it will almost certainly be able to recognize the yellow delivery truck as it flies by. Were you the one who recognized it right away? This one is a real Easter egg for those who are not super familiar with Mexican culture. Coco is filled with Latino traditions and cultural references, and one of the best references that were made in the movie is the introduction of El Santo. El Santo was a Mexican professional wrestler, and he became famous far beyond the ring. He is a massive star in Mexico, and there was even a few movies about him. However, here's one interesting fact. You will never see El Santo in public without wearing his mask. In Coco, he is also depicted in a mask because the mask is a huge part of him. This is exactly what makes him significant, and that is why he wears it even in death when attending the Day of Dead party thrown by Ernesto de la Cruz. It's incredible, but there's one actor who voiced a character in every Pixar animated film. Can you imagine that? In every movie. And for those who didn't know, this is John RATZENBERGER that we're talking about. He voiced Mac in the Cars series and the Yeti in Monsters, Inc. But what about Coco? Maybe you've noticed which character is speaking his voice. If you haven't noticed, no worries. We're gonna break it down in a second, but before we share this information with you, try your luck and comment on who you think he voiced in Coco. Are you ready? So, he voiced Juan Ordonquia. Not a major character though, but if you watch the movie carefully, you may remember the guy who barely even speaks, but he is the one who gets to cross over on the Day of Dead because he's being remembered by his dentist. But here's something else about the dentist's office. Have you noticed what exactly? It's the dentist office from Finding Nemo. Speaking of Finding Nemo, there are a few more references on this animated movie. In the very beginning of the movie, when Miguel is heading to the plaza, we can see the other references to the Day of Dead folklore, little statues of little animals that act as spirit guides in the land of the dead. These little figures mean a lot for Mexican people, and they make their film debut in their traditional use as small figurines carved and sold by the people. We can see Miguel near the table where these figures are selling, and even though they are too tiny to really see or recognize, there are a few of them that look exactly like Pixar's Finding Nemo characters. The clownfish is the one you've definitely noticed. Even though the Coco movie has its clear and logical ending, there is information that the film number 2 is on its way. Fans are pretty sure that there's going to be a sequel anyways because people would love to know what happens next after Miguel returns to the area of the living with Hector's legacy, and having him reunite with his great-great-grandmother Imelda.
Ernesto de la Cruz?
Indeed, it would be really interesting to see the sequel to this movie, but as for now, there's been no official statement confirming from Disney or Pixar about Coco 2. Neither co-director Adrian Molina nor Lee Unkrich have ever stated that an animated film sequel was at any stage of development. Many fans think that the sequel will eventually be done, but due to the pandemic, the directors had to postpone its production. And it's also safe to say that Pixar is very careful and thoughtful when it comes to a decision of which their movies are worthy of a follow-up to an original story. Obviously, Pixar has its own typical indicators of a sequel-worthy movie: solid box office receipts, critical praise, and a story that would be good enough to invite another installment. Well, it seems like Coco's met all these indicators, and maybe one day we'll enjoy Miguel's returning to the land of the dead. Have you already watched Coco? Do you think Coco 2 movie is on its way? We are dying to know your opinion, so share with us in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.